Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in once again to the softball field here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is once again excited to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. Tim Coette here on the call as we are getting ready for some exciting non-conference softball for you on this early morning. We're just before 11 a.m. We're right in the midst of April vacation on this April the 20th, and this Milford softball team off to an absolutely red-hot start to the season. Victories in each of their first 3 games on the schedule, and so far it has really been no competition for the Lady Hawks. Mercy Rule wins in each of their first 2 games on the season. A 12-0 output in Game 1 on the year. They followed that up with a 15-0 win over Sharon a couple of days later, and they closed out their first week of play this season with another dominating performance against a Davenport Division opponent. It was a 14-2 win over the Foxborough Lady Warriors. So this offense, again, has just absolutely been on fire so far in 2016. Just a total of 2 runs allowed on the year. Their runs for a total of 41 runs this Lady Hawks offense has put up against just 2 runs allowed. So again, just any way you slice it, this team has been dominant, and this will be the first big test on the season for this softball team as they start their non-conference portion of the schedule. A handful of very challenging non-conference opponents over the course of this 2016 regular season, and the first one here today is one of the neighboring rivals to the softball program. It is the Hopedale Lady Blue Raiders. They come in also unbeaten on the season. Hopedale's had an opportunity to get a couple of more games in than Milford so far on the season, so they come in with an unbeaten 5-0 record. And this team has also been impressive. 6.8 runs per game average scored by this Hopedale offense, and their pitching has allowed just an average of 1.8 runs through their first 5 games of the season. So these are 2 power programs coming in as the Hockomock League Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks get ready to take on the Dual Valley Conference Hopedale Lady Blue Raiders. We will have the starting lineups and the game's first pitch when we come back next here on Milford TV. Welcome back to Milford, ladies and gentlemen. Just moments away from the start of this game between the Lady Scarlet Hawks and the visiting Hopedale Lady Blue Raiders. Before we get to the first pitch, let's get to the starting lineups for this early afternoon showdown. We'll start with the visitors from Hopedale. Leading it off is the first baseman and captain, Sarah Clement. Taylor Goldstein, the catcher, bats second, with Julia Alberto, the starting pitcher, batting third. Co-captain Leah Highland is the shortstop, batting fourth, with Jordan Wilson, the center fielder, batting fifth. Kathleen Maloney plays second base and bats sixth, with Katie Kohler, the third baseman, batting seventh. Catherine Clement plays left field and bats eighth, and in the ninth spot, and the designated player for today's game, it is Julia Holt. And for the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks, their lineup looking similar to what it's been through the early days of the season. Leading off is the left fielder, Kate Irwin. Emily Pierre-Gustavo bats second and plays second, with Maggie Farrell, the right fielder, batting third. Jess Tomaso is in the cleanup spot. She plays first base, with Jill Powers, the shortstop, batting fifth. Caitlin DeCapua is the designated player, batting sixth, with Megan Jakes, the catcher, batting seventh. Maddie Bonvino starts at third base, batting eighth, and in the ninth spot and playing center field is Sydney Pounds. And your pitching matchup on the Hopedale side, it will be Julia Alberto. She is also in the starting lineup. And for Milford, completing her warm-up tosses as we speak, it is Allie Atherton. She's now made 2 starts for Milford so far on the season. Both of them have been very good. The strikeout numbers have been very high for Allie through the first 2 games. She has struck out 18 batters through her first 11 innings on the season. She is 2-0 with a 1.27 ERA. She held her first opponent on the season completely off the scoreboard in that 12-0 win against Attleboro. She allowed 2 runs in her most recent performance. That came last Friday against Foxborough in that 14-2 win for Milford. So everyone's set and ready to go. Getting this game in just a hair behind the scheduled start time, but again, we are in the midst of April vacation, so that allows for some early afternoon athletic activities. And so just after 11 a.m., these 2 sides ready to get it going. The Milford infield in tight as the leadoff batter for Hopedale, Sarah Clement, steps into the batter's box on the right side. Atherton is ready with her first pitch. She fires it in, and it is a called strike 1. And softball is underway. Fans of this Milford softball team have been anticipating these non-conference matchups on the schedule. This is the first they've had on the year as Clement drops a bunt down the first base line. It goes foul. Jake's losing her balance a little bit as she traveled down that first base line, making sure that ball stayed in foul territory. And it is a no-ball, 2-strike count on Sarah Clement, one of 2 Hopedale captains, along with Leah Highland, who will bat 4th in this Blue Raider lineup. Atherton back on the pitching rubber. She stares into Jakes for the sign. Now the windup and the pitch, that one up and away. Not inclined to swing was Clement, and the count goes to 1-2. This is the first of back-to-back non-conference games during this vacation week. Milford will be right back here tomorrow afternoon to take on non-conference Holliston. Excuse me, non-conference Hopkinton, not Holliston. The Hopkinton Lady Hillers, of course, the #1 seed in the D1 South playoff bracket last year, so an anticipated matchup again tomorrow. Here's another 1-2 pitch, and Clement was just able to get a piece of that one, tapping it foul between the legs of Jakes. Rolling to the backstop, and again, it stays a 1-ball, 2-strike count to the first batter of this softball matchup. Both benches on their feet, eager to take in these early at-bats. Atherton's next offering, she took a little something off that one, but kept it up and outside. Clement working very hard in this at-bat. Now an even count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. The next pitch, it's popped up foul and out of play. Defensively for Milford, it's Megan Jakes behind the plate with Maddie Bonvino at third, Jill Powers at short, Emily Pierre-Gustavo at second, and Jess Tomaso at first. Left to right in the outfield, Kate Irwin, Sydney Pounds, and Maggie Farrell. Another 2-2 pitch. This is floated out to second base. There is Emily Pierre-Gustavo. She makes the catch for the first out of this top of the first inning. A very large crowd taking in this game this morning. The largest collection of fans down the right field line as usual. Tends to be the favorite spot for the fans, whether here at the softball field or over at Pheno. But also fans filling up the bleachers on each side of home plate. As meanwhile, the first pitch into the catcher, Taylor Goldstein, misses low for ball 1. Atherton gathers, winds, and fires his pitch on the ground to second base. Again, handled cleanly by Emily Pierre-Gustavo. She fires to Jess Tomaso at first. 2 up and 2 down. That leaves the inning up to Allie Atherton's counterpart, Julia Alberto. She will take the circle in the bottom half of this inning. Alberto, another right-handed bat, facing the right-handed throwing Allie Atherton, who delivers the first pitch of the at-bat outside for ball 1. 9 strikeouts in each of her first 2 outings for Allie Atherton. Here's the 1-0. This is a hard shot through the right side of the infield. Getting to it quickly is Maggie Farrell. Her throw to first base cannot be dug out by first baseman Jess Tomaso, and safe in there with a 2-out single is Julia Alberto. That one was hit so hard through that right side of the infield that it looked like maybe Farrell had a chance to throw the runner out at first, but the throw did not beat the runner to begin with, and then the ball glanced off the glove of Tomaso. So it goes as a 2-out single, and it keeps the inning alive for Leah Highland. So a runner at first base as the first pitch misses to Highland. Atherton ready with the next. It's hit softly on the ground to shortstop, scooped up by Jill Powers. Her throw to first base beats Highland by a running step, and that will conclude things here in the top of the first inning. The 2-out base runner proves to be harmless. The Lady Scarlet Hawks will take their first swings of the game when we come back next here on coverage of Milford High School athletics on Milford TV. The cheers rise up from the Milford fans as the home team will take their first at-bats of this contest. Kate Irwin, Emily Pierre-Gustavo, and Maggie Farrell, the three batters expected in this bottom of the first inning, taking their swings against Julia Alberto, who reached on a two-out single in the top half of this inning, and now she will face this very tough, very powerful Milford starting lineup. Kate Irwin takes the first pitch for ball one. The left-handed leadoff batter. Here's the 1-0 pitch. She lets that one go by as well. And she starts off ahead now, 2 balls and no strikes. Kate Irwin with a robust .625 batting average in these early days of the season. She has 5 hits in 6 total at-bats. Very few, if any, of those hits have left the infield, but that is Kate Irwin's specialty, as we know. She's ahead in the count here, 3 balls and no strikes, so Alberto in danger of walking the speedy Kate Irwin, and she will as this ball goes up over the head of Irwin. She hustles down to first base, but gathering the loose ball quickly was the catcher for Hopedale. That is Taylor Goldstein. So immediately Milford has a base runner now for the sophomore Emily Pierre-Gustavo, who takes one high and tight for ball one. Emily Pierre-Gustavo, every bit as advertised offensively in these first 3 games of the season, as she floats that pitch foul and out of play to even the count at 1. Emily Pierre-Gustavo with 9 hits and 10 at-bats so far on the season, good for a .900 batting average. Looking in is Alberto. Here's her next pitch. This is a high fly ball out to right field, and in and out of the glove of the right fielder, Liz Swanson. Kate Irwin had to hold up halfway between first and second base, but as that ball dropped to the grass, she was able to advance to second base. That should go as a straight error for the right fielder, Liz Swanson, who is flexed out of the starting lineup only in defensively, and her first defensive chance of the game will go as an E9. And now the first pitch into Maggie Farrell is good for strike 1. So an inauspicious start to this game on the Hopedale side. 2 on with nobody out. And now the 0-1 pitch. That is low and away. It briefly eludes the glove of the catcher Goldstein, but no advance from the runners. Maggie Farrell settling into this number 3 spot in the lineup very nicely. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's hit to the opposite field, but foul, and no chance for the third baseman or left fielder to make a play. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Farrell. Maggie Farrell batting .500 on the early days of the season with 10 runs batted in to lead the team in that category. She rifles another foul ball, this time down the first base line. Maggie Farrell, Emily Pierre-Gustavo, and Jess Tomaso, the 3 leaders in RBI with 10, 9, and 8 respectively. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's hit softly out to shortstop. The catch is made there. The quick throw into second base, and Kate Irwin just able to get the hand back into the bag before the throw arrived. You can see it's a tough sky for these fielders for this early morning contest. The sun may have been a factor in the error out in right field, and you could see the shortstop, Leah Hyland, really shielding her eyes to try to make that catch. Meanwhile, Coach DeVito out to check on Kate Irwin at second base. But she seems to be fine, maybe sliding back into the second base bag a little awkwardly, but convinces the coach she is good to go. So she remains at second base with Emily Pierre-Gustavo at first base. Now 1 out in the inning for Jess Tomaso, and what an interesting experience this must be for Jess Tomaso, transferring from Hopedale High School after last school year. So facing her former classmates and former teammates here now wearing the Milford colors. The 1-0 pitch misses down and in, quickly ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Tomaso making an immediate positive impact on her new team through these early days as the count goes to 2-1. Tomaso batting .583, and as we mentioned, 8 runs batted in. She has 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run. And again, you look back to last year's team, a lot of people happy with the faces that were returning on this Milford roster, but the big questions were, how are you going to replace those 3 and 4 hitters of Allie Pierre-Gustavo and Taylor LeBrun? So far, it looks like Milford has been able to do that as Tomaso swings away at the 3-1 pitch. Going after a high one, couldn't make contact, and the count goes full. We'll see if they send the runners on this 3-2 pitch. The runners taking a slow head start on the pitch. As Tomaso fouls it away, so we will do it again. Jill Powers waiting on deck. Julia Alberto. A big pitch coming up. Here it is, and it's up and in for ball 4. Tomaso will trot down to first base. It's the second walk of the inning. Two walks and an error have loaded the bases for Milford without the benefit of a hit so far in this inning, and they are loaded up now for Jill Powers. Powers takes a hack at the first pitch, floats it out in foul ground down the right field line. It actually kicks fair. A fair ball is coming in to score from third base is Kate Irwin. It will go as an RBI single for Jill Powers. And Milford strikes first. They are up 1-0. Oh, it looked like that ball was definitely going to go foul. A long run for first baseman, second baseman, and right fielder, but that ball just landed in no man's land just inside the chalk. So the RBI single makes it a 1-0 ball game. They stay loaded up on the bases now for Caitlin DeCapua. After tapping the first pitch foul, now DeCapua takes a ball to even the count at 1-1. DeCapua with an inside the park 2-run home run in the last game we covered here on Milford TV against Sharon. The 1-1 dips too far inside and low. Overall, DeCapua batting .556, a total of 3 runs batted in. Alberto's next pitch, it's a strike, but off the glove of Taylor Goldstein, but Milford not taking the chance. They keep those runners in place. Pierre-Gustavo at third. Tomaso at second, Powers at first, 1 down in the inning. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count on the designated player, Caitlin DeCapua. She bounces it right back to the pitcher. They get the out at home, the throw to first. And they will say DeCapua is safe at first base, just barely beating out that throw from the catcher. That was a very close play. But good hustle down the line from DeCapua, so they do cut down the runner at the plate, Pierre Gustavo, so the bases stay loaded. With DeCapua now at first base on the fielder's choice, and that leaves the inning up to Megan Jakes. Milford does have a run in this frame, but it certainly had the makings of a big inning. Megan Jakes trying to punctuate the frame with a big 2-out hit here. The 0-1 pitch, it's a line drive. That's going to get through the infield for a hit. Around to score comes Tommaso. Powers will be waved home. Here comes the throw to third base. It is there in time for the out to end the inning. DeCapua out, trying to stretch to third base, so that will conclude the inning, but the 2 runs do indeed score as Tommaso and Powers come around to score on the 2-out RBI single from Megan Jakes, and that allows Milford, after 1 full inning of play, to take a 3-0 lead over Hopedale. More to come next here on Milford TV. A good start for the Hawks. 3 runs put up in the bottom half of the first inning. RBI singles by Jill Powers and Megan Jakes. The final out of the inning recorded on the bases as Caitlin DeCapua tried to go first to third on that hit by Jakes, as first pitch swinging. This ball is hit in the air out to right field off the bat of Jordan Wilson, but Maggie Farrell is there to make the catch. And Allie Atherton able to record the first out of the top of the second on just a single pitch. Atherton allowed just 1 hit in the top of the first inning. Has her first out here in the second. Dealing with the number 6 hitter now, Kathleen Maloney. She swings at the first pitch. So that pitch fouled directly off the mask of Megan Jakes. Head coach DeVito coming right out to check on his senior captain, but Jakes immediately says she's fine. Now gets right back down into the crouch behind the plate. Always scary to hear such hard contact. A no ball, 1 strike count. Base is empty and 1 down in the top of the second inning. Atherton winds and fires. Jakes trying to frame that one, but ruled just outside. The count evens at 1. The next pitch on the way, and it's a floater past the glove of Emily Pierre Gustavo at second base. And it will be a 1-out single for Kathleen Maloney. Hard hit towards the opposite field. Just continued to slice past the glove of Pierre Gustavo, moving to her left. Ended up out in right field for the second Hopedale hit of the morning. And now the number 7 batter, Katie Kohler, takes a look at strike 1. Corner infielders cheating in as the bunt is dropped down out towards the pitcher's circle. And they will rule that a dead ball. It may have hit off of the foot of the batter before she came out of the batter's box. Could clearly see it take a odd bounce after it initially dropped. So no balls and 2 strikes as Kohler returns to the batter's box. Here's the pitch from Atherton, and it's hit in the air foul up over the first base dugout and out of play. As usual, the first base dugout occupied by the visiting team. Milford setting up shop down the third base line. Milford in their new all-black uniforms that they unveiled at the start of this season as the pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. The snap throw to first looked like it surprised Jess Tommaso a little bit, but she was able to keep it in front of her. The runner does get back to first base safely, but there are now 2 outs in the inning. That is the first strikeout of the game for Atherton. 2 outs now for Catherine Clement, the left fielder. First pitch in, sails low and inside for ball 1. Maloney reached on the 1-out single. She remains at first base now with 2 down. Atherton's pitch, hard shot on the ground, foul wide of first base. Ricocheting off the chain link in front of the visitors' dugout. A bit of a breezy morning here in Milford, the wind blowing from first base toward third base. Here's the 1-1, again hit on the ground, foul. Now taking a look at that flagpole, the wind shifting directions now blowing out towards first base, so bit of an inconsistent breeze, but keeping things a little bit cool here at field level. Temperature is probably right around 50 degrees. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count now on Catherine Clement. The next pitch on the way, and it's a tapper right back to the glove of Atherton. She fires to first for the final out of the top of the second inning. A second runner stranded on for the Lady Blue Raiders, and we head to the bottom half of the second inning. It is still 3-0 in favor of Milford here on coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV. Batters 8, 9, and 1 expected to the plate in the bottom of the second inning for this Milford starting lineup. Julia Alberto back in the circle for the visitors. Her first pitch into Maddie Bonvino misses for ball 1. And now a 2-ball, no-strike count. Third base has been one of the few spots in this Milford batting order that has been a bit of a revolving door through the early days of the season, as we have seen Maddie Bonvino in a couple of games. We've also seen Caitlin DeCapua out at third base, with also Emily Hartman getting in the mix at the designated player spot. So a couple of spots in this lineup where Coach DeVito is giving a couple of different players an opportunity to get playing time. And meanwhile, Maddie Bonvino showing good patience in the first at bat of this bottom of the second inning, walking on 4 pitches. It was the walks that got Julia Alberto in trouble in the first. Ended up walking 2 batters. Both of them came around to score. Now walking her third to start things off here in the bottom of the second, as Bonvino bluffed down the line on that first pitch into Sydney Pounds, which also missed. So the first 5 straight pitches have missed the strike zone for Julia Alberto here in the second inning. Back into her windup. Here's the pitch, and that misses low. So no doubt Coach DeVito preaching patience to these batters now, making Alberto prove she can throw a strike. Here's the 2-0. And that one in and out of the mitt of Goldstein, but ruled a strike. Defensively for Hopedale, it is Taylor Goldstein behind the plate, Katie Kohler at third, Leah Highland at short, Kathleen Maloney at second, and Sarah Clement at first. Left to right in the outfield, Catherine Clement, Jordan Wilson, and Liz Swanson. A 2-1 offering on the way, and it's hit on the ground to shortstop. The shuffle throw to second base out there. No chance to get the out at first base. Way too much speed for Sydney Pounds. So they cut down Bonvino at second. Pounds safe on the fielder's choice. Sydney Pounds always a threat to steal. Pounds with a pair of stolen bases on the young season. Kate Irwin takes a called strike. She has one of the 3 Julia Alberto walks. She walked to lead off last inning, came around to score. Just able to pull the bat head back that time as she ran up for the slash attempt, and the count goes to 1-1. Pounds at first. Gets a bit of a head start as this one is bunted softly down the third base line. The throw to first is wild. It travels down the right field line. And Pounds, who was on the move, will come all the way around to score. And they will award second base to Kate Irwin. So that time Irwin bunting, and again that speed forcing the quick off-balance throw from Katie Kohler. It ended up going wild past the glove of Sarah Clement at first, and the result is another run scored. So that is the second Hopedale error, as now the umpires get together beside the pitcher's circle. And so it looks like now they will wipe the run off the board. That did seem a little odd that they would allow Pounds to score all the way from first base. She was off with the pitch, but nonetheless, not allowing her 3 bases on the error. So they ruled the ball had gone out of play. And so as a result, they will pull Sydney Pounds back out of the dugout. She will set up at third base now as first pitch swinging. Emily Pierre-Gustavo drives it out to center field. The catch is made out there by Jordan Wilson. Now Pounds will tag. This time she will score on what turns out to be a sacrifice fly from Emily Pierre-Gustavo. Taking third on the throw was Kate Irwin. So there are now 2 outs in the inning. It is now officially 4-0 as Maggie Farrell, first pitch swinging, hits it in the air out to left. The catch is made there by Catherine Clement. A little bit wobbly as that ball made its way into her glove, but she's able to hang on for the out that ends the inning. So a lot taking place in just the matter of a few moments in that bottom of the second inning. But at the end of the day, Milford scores 1 in the frame. They extend their lead now out to 4-0. as we head into inning number 3 coming up next here on Milford TV. Top of inning number 3 now from Milford, Massachusetts. The Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks leading the Hopedale Lady Blue Raiders by a score of 4-0. A lot of action taking place in that bottom of the second inning. Atherton now ready for her third inning of work. She fires in a called strike 1 to the number 9 hitter in the Hopedale lineup, Julia Holt, the designated player. Here's the 0-1 pitch, waved at and missed. Holt way out in front of that one. 0-2 the count. Atherton looks into her windup. Here's the pitch, and that is in for a called strike 3. Frozen at the plate was Holt, down on 3 pitches. It's the second strikeout for Allie Atherton on the afternoon. She's able to retire the leadoff batter for the third straight frame. And we go back up to the top of the Hopedale lineup. Sarah Clement, 0 for 1. She popped out to second base to open the ball game. Takes a look at the first pitch low for ball 1. Milford scoring 4 runs so far in this game on the benefit of just 3 hits, as this ball is floated down the right field line foul. But right now, Milford the beneficiary of 3 walks through the first 2 innings, also 2 Hopedale errors. The only hit Milford had in the last inning was the bunt single by Kate Irwin. Here's the 1-1 pitch now. Again, it's sent foul, this time well out of play off towards the parking lot. And the count goes to 1-2. Clement up now. The catcher, Taylor Goldstein, to follow. 1 out and the base is empty in the top of the 3rd. Atherton's next pitch, swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts to open this top of the 3rd inning for Atherton. Allie Atherton, as she does so often, just getting more and more dominant as the game goes on. Three Ks in all now. She's had 1 strikeout in the 2nd inning, now 2 here in the 3rd. Dealing with the catcher now, Taylor Goldstein, who grounded out to second base in her first at bat. Down in the count, 0-1. Atherton uncorks a fastball that misses outside and low. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That grabs a piece of the inside part of the plate. Goldstein takes a quick step outside of the batter's box, may have disagreed with that strike call. Here now is the 2-1 offering. It's swung on and missed. And now Allie Atherton 1 strike away from striking out the side in order here in the 3rd inning. The 2-2 pitch, and that just misses outside. Again, Jake's trying to pull it back to that outside corner. The result now a full count. Here's the pitch, and it's belted down the right field line, but foul right into that large group of fans. Looks like everyone avoided the wrath of that scorching line drive. And it stays a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Julia Alberto would be next. Another 3-2 pitch on the way. This is popped up out to shallow center field. Taking charge of the play is Jill Powers. She makes the catch for the out that ends the inning. Powers, Pierre Gustavo, and Pounds all converging, but the shortstop takes command, makes the catch that retires the side in order here in the 3rd inning. We head to the bottom half of the frame, still 4-0, Milford over Hopedale, here on coverage of Lady Hawks softball on Milford TV. Middle of the order bats due up in the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Lady Hawks, Tomaso, Powers, and DeCapua. Jess Tomaso to lead it off. She walked and scored a run back in the 1st inning. Facing the right-handed throwing Julia Alberto, who sent something off speed towards the plate on the first pitch of the frame, but it missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes. The next pitch on the way, and it's sent foul. Up over everything and out of play. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. A year ago, Jess Tomaso wearing the colors of Hopedale, now wearing the Milford uniform here in her sophomore season after transferring. Here's the 2-ball, 1-strike pitch. It's low and inside. Tomaso, a total of 7 hits coming into this afternoon's contest. 6 of those 7 hits have gone for extra bases. She'll get a free trip on the bases to open things up here in the 3rd inning. The 4th walk allowed in the game by Julia Alberto. Walks have been her biggest enemy in this game. It's the 2nd time, or check that, it's the 3rd time in 3 innings that she has walked the leadoff batter, now swinging at the first pitch. Jill Powers flies out just behind second base. The shortstop, Leah Highland, making the catch. Aggressively swinging at the first pitch was Powers, but she pops out now 1 for 2. Tommaso remains at first base. Now here's DeCapua, hard ground ball to shortstop. Bad throw to second base. It ticks off the glove of the second baseman. Everyone will be safe. Tommaso hustles on to third.
Next is number 4, Megan Jakes.
So there is your 3rd Hopedale error of the game. DeCapua reaches on the fielder's choice. The error on the shortstop allows Tommaso to end up at third as this ball glances off the glove of the catcher. In to score from third base comes Tommaso with the 5th Milford run. So the error gets Tommaso to third. The passed ball allows her to come in to score. Caitlin DeCapua, meanwhile, now at second base. And right now, the Lady Hawks just pouncing on every opportunity they are given. Here's the 1-ball, 1-strike pitch into Megan Jakes. It's sent foul, out of play. Off behind first base. And the count goes to 1-2. Megan Jakes, a 2-run single back in the first inning. The inning ended up concluding after that at bat as Caitlin DeCapua was thrown out trying to take third. Here's the 1-2 pitch, hit hard on the ground, through up the middle for a hit. They're going to wave DeCapua to the plate. Here comes the throw. It's cut off behind the pitcher's circle and into second base. The throw came out of the glove. Out of the glove of the shortstop, Highland, so Jakes will be safe at second base. She was caught in no man's land halfway down the line, trying to make sure that DeCapua came in to score. She just kept on going to second base. The throw, I believe it was from the pitcher, made things close at second base, but the ball popped out of the glove of the shortstop, Leah Highland, and that allowed Jakes to just sneak in there safely. It will go in the books as another RBI single. She takes second base on the throw. In to score from second base was DeCapua. 2 runs in this inning that allows Milford to take now a 6-0 lead. And here is another inning where Milford has now scored 2 runs off of just 1 hit in the frame. So 6 runs on 4 hits. Pitch number 1 of the at-bat to Maddie Bonvino misses inside. Bonvino reached on one of the 4 Julia Alberto walks back in the second inning. Swings away at this pitch and lofts it up over the backstop for strike 1. Right now, Shannon Cormier is the courtesy runner at second base for Megan Jakes. As the pitch drops in too low, 2 balls and a strike. And some maintenance done on home plate before we continue. Cormier at second. Bonvino at the plate. Here comes the 2-1 pitch and hit hard down the third base line, but foul. Hitting ever so close to our cameraman, Rob O'Keefe, in foul territory down that left field line. Rob always having to stay on his toes. Bonvino now sends a fly ball out to center field. Tracking it back is Jordan Wilson, but that gets over her head, goes to the fence. Cormier around from second base. She scores easily on the double by Maddie Bonvino, not missing a home run by very much. That got up over the head of Wilson. Took a bounce just inside the fence. Hit up off the fence out there in straightaway center field, really hitting it to the deepest part of the softball field. And it goes as an RBI double. Cormier scores, and now a 7-0 lead for the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks. Still not done in the bottom of the third. Sydney Pounds now taking her second at bat of the game. She reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run back in the second inning. Looks at a pitch in the dirt. One ball, one strike. Here's the pitch. A swing and a miss. There is still just one out in the inning. The only out so far recorded on the pop out by Jill Powers. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Sydney Pounds. It misses high. Count even now. Fans taking in this game from all vantage points. You can see fans lined up beyond the fence in the outfield, particularly out in right field. A few also out in center. Seeing a lot of Milford offense through these early innings. Here comes a 3-2 pitch to Sydney Pounds, and it's swung on and missed. That pitch with some late life on it, eluding the bat of Sydney Pounds, and that is the first strikeout of the game for Julia Alberto. It comes at a good time. The second out now in this bottom of the third. Now with 2 outs in the inning, here is Irwin. Already now taking her third at bat in as many innings. The 7th Milford batter to come to the plate in this bottom of the third. Here's the 0-1. Keeps the bat back. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Irwin's been on base twice, a walk and a bunt single. She's able to get a hold of this one, bunts it hard down the first base line. This time, the second baseman, Kathleen Maloney's there to field it. She throws to first base, and very rare that Kate Irwin puts the ball in play and is recorded on and out, but it happens here to conclude things in the bottom of the third inning. But Milford strikes for 3 more runs, and as we head to the top half of the fourth inning, it is now Milford 7 and Hopedale 0 here on coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV. 7 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for Milford. No runs, 2 hits, 3 errors for Hopedale as we enter into the top of the fourth inning. Hopedale sending up batters 3, 4, and 5 in their order. Julia Alberto has one of the 2 Hopedale hits in the game. It came with 2 outs in the first inning. Up now for the second time against Allie Atherton, and the first pitch is a fastball that stays high and outside. Bit of a long wait for Atherton between innings, and on a crisp early afternoon, you have to wonder if it's a challenge for a pitcher to stay loose. Right now, the first 2 pitches for Atherton have missed the strike zone. And you can make it 3 straight as Alberto is well ahead now, 3 balls and no strikes. Alberto, Leah Highland, and Jordan Wilson, the 3 batters expected. Here's the pitch. That one is in for a strike, as Alberto was taking all the way. Atherton with 3 strikeouts through her first 3 innings of work. Here's the 3-1, and it's waved at and missed. Rising fastball out of the hand of Atherton, and she's able to work back to fill the count. Ready now with the 3-2 pitch. Here it is. It's hit on the ground to third base. A bobble briefly by Bonvino, but she's able to recover to send a good strong throw to first base that just beats Alberto for the first out. Five to 3 on the ground out. And with 1 out, here is Leah Highland, one of the 2 Hopedale captains. She grounded out to shortstop in her only plate appearance so far. Taking the first pitch low for ball 1. This pitch is lifted out behind first base. Jess Tomaso there to make the grab, calling off Emily Pierre Gustavo. A good play by Tomaso in what is a high sky here in Milford, really not a cloud to be seen. The sun shining down from almost directly over the pitcher's circle. Two up and 2 down in this 4th inning. And now here's Jordan Wilson, the Hopedale center fielder, who watches a pitch bounce in just in front of the plate. Megan Jakes, who has her own personal cheering section every time she comes close to the backstop. It's a lively crowd here in Milford. 1 ball and no strikes. The next pitch into Wilson, missing outside. Atherton scattering just 2 hits through these early innings. She has not yet walked a batter. But for the 2nd time in the inning, she goes to a 3-ball, no-strike count. That pitch missing upstairs. Should Wilson reach, Kathleen Maloney would be the next batter. Here's the pitch, bluffing a bunt, pulling the bat back, and taking a strike was Wilson. Three and 1 now as Atherton uses the cleat to clear some dirt off the pitching rubber. The next pitch offered at, and this pitch hit foul. Bouncing just in front of a completely unsuspecting spectator out in the parking lot, fortunately. That one landing harmlessly. Always a good idea to keep your head on a swivel when you're around the softball field. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. The payoff pitch is swung on and missed. In on the hands of Wilson. She could not catch up to it. It's the 4th strikeout for Allie Atherton, and that will end things here in the top of the 4th. A second consecutive 1-2-3 inning for Allie Atherton. We head now to the bottom half of this fourth inning, and it remains 7-0 in favor of the Lady Hawks here on Milford TV. Bottom half of the fourth now. Alberto, her first pitch into Emily Pierre Gustavo is fouled away for strike one. Julia Alberto back out for her fourth inning of work in the pitcher's circle. She's allowed 7 runs on 5 hits through the first 3 innings. She's also walked 4. This pitch is hit in the air but not deep. The shortstop, Leah Highland, a few steps towards second base, able to make the catch. And so for the first time in this game, Hopedale is able to retire the leadoff batter, I should say. One out and the base is empty now for Maggie Farrell, who looks at a pitch high that pops off the mitt of Goldstein. One ball and no strikes on Maggie Farrell, who is 0 for 2 in the game. Fooled on that last pitch by Alberto. And the count evens at 1-1. Solid contact here from Farrell out to deep left field. But Catherine Clement was playing deep, fighting the sun. She's able to make the catch. And the first 2 batters now retired in this bottom of the fourth inning. Julia Alberto would love nothing more than to settle down and enjoy a 1-2-3 inning after some lengthy stretches out in the circle through the first 3 frames. But first she has to deal with her former classmate, Jess Tomaso. Tomaso taking the first pitch for ball 1. The hard-hitting righty now sends a pop-up again out to left field. And there is Clement to make the catch. And so a much different looking inning for Julia Alberto here in the bottom of the fourth. She's able to set Milford down 1-2-3 on an economy of pitches. So we will move right on to inning number 5 from Milford. It remains the Lady Hawks 7 and the Lady Blue Raiders nothing here on coverage of Milford High School athletics on Milford TV. As we enter into the top of the 5th inning, there is one defensive change for the Lady Hawks to tell you about. Shannon Cormier is now in the game out in left field. She replaces Kate Irwin. We did see Coach DeVito check on Kate Irwin after an awkward slide back into second base on a possible double play earlier in the game. Kate did stay in the game. She did take another at bat after that. But she comes out now here in the 5th inning. Cormier out defensively in left. And meanwhile, Allie Atherton pitching to the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Kathleen Maloney starting things off, and she starts off down in the count 0-2. Maloney has one of the 2 Hopedale hits. She sends a pitch in the air up the middle, but it does not go past the infield dirt, and Emily Pierre Gustavo is in good position to make the catch. That makes 9 consecutive batters retired by Allie Atherton, going back to midway through the 2nd inning. And the first pitch into Katie Kohler misses for ball 1. Kohler, one of 4 strikeouts that Allie Atherton has notched so far in the game. Here's the 1-0, hit hard to the backstop. And the count evens at a ball and a strike. Hitting right off of the back-to-back state champion sign that hangs on the backstop here at the Milford softball field. Those state championships, of course, in 2012 and 2013. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's too far inside. It had Kohler getting the legs out of the way. Milford with championship aspirations again here in 2016, getting off to a 3-0 start. And this ball is hit hard on the ground past the glove of Atherton, but there is Jill Powers ranging far to her left, makes the play, and a good throw to first base to record the second out of the inning. Nice rangy play by Jill Powers. Two down, the base is empty. Now 10 in a row retired by Atherton. It leaves the inning up to the number 8 hitter, Catherine Clement. And she takes a hard fastball right down the pike for strike one. The windup and the pitch from Atherton. This one floated up over the backstop. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. And Allie Atherton in search of her third straight 1-2-3 frame. She retakes the pitching rubber, looks into Megan Jakes for the sign. Here is the 0-2 pitch, and again, it's a liner right to the backstop. Keeping our broadcast setup here behind the plate wide awake. Here is another 0-2 pitch, and that sinks just below the strike zone. One ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The Hopedale dugout keeping the chatter up, hoping to incite a 2-out rally. Here is the 1-2 pitch. Instead, it's waved at and missed for strike 3. Strikeout number 5 in the game for Allie Atherton, who is in cruise control mode right now. We head to the home half of the 5th inning. The scoreboard unchanged. Milford 7, Hopedale 0. Here on coverage of Milford High School athletics, right here on Milford TV. The Hopedale starting pitcher, Julia Alberto, coming off what was by far her best inning so far of this game. A 1-2-3 4th inning will now look to deal with Jill Powers, Caitlin DeCapua, and Megan Jakes, the 5, 6, and 7 batters in the Milford lineup. She delivers the first pitch up high to Powers for ball 1. Jill looking more and more comfortable at the plate now after a bit of a sluggish start. She came into the game this afternoon with a .375 batting average. That's when you know your offense is going strong, when a .375 batting average is one of your more modest batting averages. Here's the 1-ball, 1-strike pitch. That is just in there for a called strike 2. So Jill Powers now trying to stand tall with the 2 strikes. As Alberto looks in for the sign, back into her windup. Here is the pitch. This is hit on the ground to the left side of the infield, but it is a foul ball, ricocheting right in front of our third base camera, operated by Rob O'Keefe. And it remains a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Jill Powers leading things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. She digs back in, settles the bat over the shoulder. Alberto's next pitch. And this is sent in the air foul down the third base line. Powers sending some hard shots into foul territory, protecting the plate. Still a lot of chatter out of the Milford dugout. Here's the pitch. This is sent high in the air, down the left field line, but not deep. Ranging in is Catherine Clement to make the catch. And there is 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That will bring up Caitlin DeCapua, the designated player in today's game. She has reached base twice, both times via a fielder's choice play. She settles in on the right side now. The About to see the first pitch of the at-bat from Alberto. This is in the air, foul down the first base line, up over the visitors' dugout and out of play. No balls and 1 strike on DeCapua. Alberto winds and fires and delivers a pitch low and inside. Milford out in front with a comfortable 7-0 lead at this point in the game, but still looking for more offense. Here's the pitch. And again inside, that one close, but just off that inside part of the plate. DeCapua ready to see another offering. Here it comes, that one well high. DeCapua in the driver's seat in this at-bat now with 1 out and the base is empty. Stares out to Julia Alberto. Here's the pitch. And that is low for ball 4. And DeCapua will take her base. A 1-out runner for the Lady Hawks in this home half of the 5th inning, and that will bring up Captain Meg Jakes, who is working on a stellar afternoon at the plate. A pair of singles so far on the day, 3 runs batted in, also a run scored. Good production out of this number 7 spot in the batting order. The first pitch of the at-bat, that grabs the top of the strike zone. And Jakes will start off behind in the count. The windup and the pitch from Alberto, that is going to be ruled strike 2. A pitch that appeared to be quite high and outside. So now an 0-2 pitch, a defensive swing from Jakes. She sends it on the ground to shortstop. They throw it to second to get the force play there. But Jakes will be safe at first base, no throw to first. Leah Highland sending the throw to Kathleen Maloney at second base to cut down the lead runner, so Caitlin DeCapua is erased. There are now 2 outs in the inning, and a runner at first base ahead of Maddie Bonvino, who has been on base twice so far this afternoon. And Alberto will start off ahead of the number 8 hitter in the lineup, delivering the first pitch in for strike 1. Coach DeVito giving signs to his runner at first base. Here's the pitch. This is a drive out to left field deep, but a rangy play towards the line for Catherine Clement. She's able to glove it down for the out that ends the inning. A couple of nice plays out there in left field for Clement in the inning. Milford does not score in the 5th. We've now played 5 full from the softball field here in Milford, and it remains a 7-0 lead for the Lady Hawks here on Milford TV. Getting into the later innings now here in Milford as Allie Atherton returns to the pitcher circle for the top of the 6th inning. She will face batters 9, 1, and 2 in the frame. Nine consecutive batters set down by Allie Atherton. You can actually make that 11 consecutive batters set down in order for Allie Atherton. She has been in some kind of groove since the 2nd inning. It's really been a phenomenal performance all the way around for the junior Allie Atherton, but getting particularly tough through these middle innings, and there is a called strike issued in to the number 9 hitter, Julia Holt, the designated player. She'll be followed by Sarah Clement and Taylor Goldstein. The next pitch from Atherton is waved at and missed. And on her way back to the dugout was Julia Holt after strike 2. Gets the good news from the umpire that the at-bat will in fact continue. It is a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Holt digs back in. Here is the pitch, and it is swung on and missed for strike 3. Now Holt can head back to the dugout. Another strikeout in this outing for Atherton. Those strikeouts have piled up through these middle innings as well. And there is batter number 12 in a row set down by the ace of this pitching staff, Allie Atherton. That was her 6th strikeout, as now she deals in a called strike 1 to Sarah Clement. Clement 0 for 2 atop this lineup so far on the day. She popped out to second base to lead off the game, struck out swinging in the 3rd. The 0-1 pitch is in around the shoe tops of Clement. She has to back out of the way. 1 ball and 1 strike. Clement settles back in on that right side batter's box as Atherton winds and fires. That pitch misses low, and now Allie will fall behind in the count 2-1. That chilly breeze continues to blow here at the softball field as Atherton deals, and that is in for a called strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on one of the captains of this Lady Blue Raider squad, Sarah Clement. Atherton's next pitch, too far outside. Not tempting enough for Clement to chase. And now Atherton will do some maintenance work around the pitching rubber before the at-bat continues. Atherton is now ready. Clement is ready. Here is the pitch, and that is in for strike 3. Absolutely freezing Sarah Clement. And there is strikeout number 7 for Allie Atherton. She's now set down 13 in a row. And quickly there are 2 gone here in the top of the 6th inning. That leaves it up to Taylor Goldstein, the catcher. She has yet to reach base in this game. Again, just 2 hits so far in this ball game for Hopedale, as this one is sent on the ground to the left side. A diving attempt by Jill Powers, but the ball ricochets out of her glove. She really wouldn't have had a chance to get a throw to first base in time anyway. A good effort to keep that ball on the infield, but it will go as an infield single, and that finally breaks up the string of retired batters for Allie Atherton. It ends at 13 as Goldstein will reach here with 2 outs in the 6th. At first base now, ahead of the starting pitcher, Julia Alberto, who has one of the Hopedale hits on the day. It came back in the 1st inning. She also grounded out to third base in the 4th. Sends a hot shot down the first base line, but that is a foul ball. That one grabbing a piece of the first base coach for Hopedale on the way by. Some concerned voices coming out of the dugout, but she appears to be fine, a smile on her face. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And that misses a little bit low and outside. 1-1 the count on Alberto. Having a tough day in the circle, trying to come through at the plate now. Trying to spark something for this Blue Raiders offense that has been held completely in check by Atherton on the afternoon. A foul ball up over the dugout brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. The lone base runner is at first. A chance for Atherton to shut down the inning right here. First she'll step to the back of the circle to collect herself. She's now ready. Into her windup. Here is the pitch. It is swung on and missed for strike 3, and the inning is over. A single base runner in the frame, but Atherton shuts down the inning from there. Now 8 strikeouts over 6 innings for Atherton. Another phenomenal performance from the junior pitcher. We've played 6 innings now. It remains 7-0 Milford here on Milford TV. Sydney Pounds set to get the inning started as we have reached the bottom half of the 6th inning. Julia Alberto, who became the 8th strikeout victim of Allie Atherton, back in the circle to start the inning. The righty-facing batters 9, 1, and 2 as this one is bunted out towards the circle, fielded by the pitcher. The throw to first is not in time, and Sydney Pounds beats it out. Coach DeVito loving that speed at the top and bottom of his order. A good play by Julia Alberto, springing out of the circle to field her position, but the throw just could not get to first base in time. And Sydney Pounds is aboard to start the inning. Now this ball is hit down the line at third base, deep into the hole. No chance for anyone to make a play to first. Everyone will be safe. A well-placed ground ball to the left side. And by the time the shortstop Highland was able to get there, no chance for a throw in any direction. And so Shannon Cormier, who takes the place of Kate Irwin atop this lineup, able to get her first hit of the game, and now the very next pitch sails to the backstop and both runners will advance. Continuing to keep us on our toes here behind the batter's box area and the backstop area with those pitches that keep coming strong here and right on cue. There's another one hitting right off of the state championship sign here behind home plate. And it is a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Emily Pierre Gustavo. Here's the pitch. That misses high. Pierre Gustavo has a run batted in the game. It came on a sacrifice fly back in the 2nd inning. She hits this ball on the ground slowly to shortstop, gathered in there by Highland. Her throw to first base is in time for the out there. Snap throw across to third is not in time, as advancing on the play was Shannon Cormier, and also in the back door from third base to score was Sydney Pounds. She scores the 8th Milford run. So it'll go as an RBI ground out for Pierre Gustavo. Scoring Sydney Pounds. Aggressive base running by Shannon Cormier. She gets in safely to third. And the first pitch into Maggie Farrell is high for ball 1. Farrell has been held without a hit so far in the contest. Now has to duck out of the way of that pitch that went up over her head. Maggie Farrell, the only member of this starting lineup not to reach base so far today, as she sees that pitch sail well low and outside. A pop out to shortstop in the first, a fly out to left field in the second, and also in the 4th innings. 0 for 3 coming into this at bat. Here's the pitch. This is hit out to right field, sinking fast. It lands for a base hit. Around to score from third base is Shannon Cormier. And you can make it a 9-0 lead now for the Lady Hawks. And Maggie Farrell now joins the rest of the lineup, reaching base safely in this game. She gets an RBI single here in the 6th to extend that lead out to 9-0. So the lone runner now is at first base for Milford as Jess Tomaso stands in, and she sends a high fly ball out to left field. This is deep. Looking back and watching it go is Catherine Clement. That is over the fence for a 2-run home run for Jess Tomaso. Her 2nd home run of the season, a 2-run shot, and that will up the Lady Hawks lead to 11-0. A bit of an uppercut swing there from Tomaso. She launched that ball. It was well over the fence by the time it landed. Jess Tomaso, the former Hopedale student, sending a message to her former teammates as she gets the 2-run shot. Milford into double digits in runs again, taking an 11-0 lead. The bases are now clear. Still only one out in the inning, and Jill Powers now set to take her 4th at bat of the game. She swings at the first pitch, pops it up to medium depth out in center field, but no problem for Jordan Wilson to make the catch, and there is the 2nd out of the inning. Jill Powers now 1 for 4 in the game. And so with 2 down, Caitlin DeCapua will have a chance to bat here in the 6th. Alberto into her windup. Here's the pitch. This is sent on the ground towards shortstop, gathered in there by Highland. She'll throw to first in time to get the out. That ends the inning. But Milford scores 4 times in the bottom of the 6th inning. They take an 11-0 lead to the 7th. We will see that 7th inning next here on Milford TV. Top of the 7th inning now, and Coach DeVito will utilize a second pitcher to finish off this game after 6 superb innings from Allie Atherton. Coach DeVito hands the ball over to the sophomore Kelly Reichert. Her first pitch into the leadoff batter in the inning, Leah Highland, is fouled to the backstop for strike 1. 6 innings pitched from Atherton. She scattered 3 hits, no runs allowed, no walks, and 8 strikeouts. But lifted here. Reichert now trying to close things out. A count of 1 ball and 1 strike on Leah Highland, one of the Hopedale captains, looking for her first hit of the game. She is 0 for 2. She sends this pitch foul down the right field line, just ahead of the fans seated beyond the field of play. And Reichert jumps ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Highland so far today, a ground out to the shortstop and a pop out to first base. Settles back in on the right side. The pitch from Reichert, and that's off the end of the bat, a cue shot foul, clanking off of a post on the backstop just prior to the first base dugout occupied by Hopedale. Still plenty of chatter out of that Hopedale dugout. Another 1 ball, 2 strike pitch on the way. This is lifted out to shallow right field. A long run in for Maggie Farrell. She cannot make the catch, and Highland will reach to open the 7th inning. Oh, it looked like Maggie Farrell was going to make a nifty basket-style catch. She was there in plenty of time, had the ball in her glove, but she could not secure it. So an error out in right field for Maggie Farrell. That is how this top of the 7th inning gets started. It's the first time Hopedale has had their lead base runner on in any inning. And now the first pitch into Jordan Wilson misses for a ball. Wilson 0 for 2, a fly out and a strikeout. The pitch from Reichert, and that's on the outside part of the plate for a called strike 1. These chilly Milford fans hoping Reichert can bring a quick end to the 7th inning, as this ball is tapped out back towards the circle, fielded by Reichert. She throws to first to get the out there. On the play, Leah Highland advances to second base with now 1 down. That brings up Kathleen Maloney, the second baseman. She has one of those 3 Hopedale hits. It came all the way back in the 2nd inning. She swings at the first pitch again, takes aim at the fans out in right field. A line drive foul ball for strike 1. Kelly Reichert getting cheered on by her teammates on the Milford bench. That pitch is high and tight on Maloney. Evening the count at 1. There are some defensive changes in this inning for the Lady Hawks, as this pitch is sent in the air out to shallow right field. That is down for a base hit. Holding at third base is the lead runner, Leah Highland. The first hit of the inning now for Kathleen Maloney. It's the 4th Hopedale hit of the day, so now 2 for 3 on the day is Kathleen Maloney. She is aboard at first, Highland now at third base, so runners at the corners with one out. And now Katie Kohler coming to the plate. The first pitch is in for strike one. Behind the plate now in this game, it is Emily Hartman. Sabrina Harstick in the game at third base. Shannon Cormier has moved to center field as now Antonia Bonina takes over in left. A bunt attempt offered at and missed by Katie Kohler. Quickly in a hole. The best run scoring opportunity Hopedale has had on the day. Here's the next pitch. Inside and low, no chase from Kohler. And it is now a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Kohler up now, Catherine Clement on deck. Here's the pitch. A little bit high, and the count evens at 2. The Lady Blue Raiders making some noise here in the 7th inning against Kelly Reichert. Here's the pitch. It's hit on the ground and through the left side of the infield for a hit. This will bring a run to the plate as the throw comes into third base, but too late, going from first to third on the play. It was Maloney on the RBI single for Katie Kohler. She is able to take second base on that throw to third. So now all of a sudden it's runners at second and third with only one out, and the shutout bid goes by the boards for the Lady Hawks as it's now an 11-1 score. The first 6 innings of this game, this Hopedale offense had nothing going, but finding a rhythm against Kelly Reichert here in the 7th inning. Now here is Catherine Clement. She swings through that pitch from Reichert. Clement 0 for 2. A bouncer back to the pitcher and also a strikeout. Here is the pitch. This is floated out to shallow right field, down for a base hit. 1 run is scored. Now the throw to the plate is going to be late. The second run comes in to score. Now the throw down to second base. That gets there in time. And Catherine Clement is thrown out trying to stretch to second base, but she will be credited with a 2-run single as both Maloney and Kohler score. And now it is an 11-3 game. The bases are now empty with 2 outs, so a bit of a base running mistake there from Clement. And now a chance for Reichert to gain her bearings here, just focusing on that batter at the plate. Here's the pitch. That is in for a strike, and you think about the 4 runs Milford put up in the bottom half of the 6th inning. This game would have a much tighter feel to it were it not for that extra bit of insurance. It is an 11-3 game now as that pitch is in for strike 2. To the number 9 batter, Julia Holt. She has struck out twice so far in the game, once looking, once swinging. Here's the next pitch from Reichert. It is a bouncer out in front of the plate. Hartman out from behind to field the ball. She throws to first base to get the out there, and that will end the ball game. A good effort put up by the Lady Blue Raiders here in the 7th inning. They score 3 times, but not nearly enough, as Milford will walk away with an 11-3 victory. Their 4th straight win to open up the season, as both of these teams came into the contest today unbeaten. Milford at 3-0, Hopedale at 5-0, but Hopedale will walk away with their first defeat on the season as Milford improves to 4-0. They will be right back at work here at the softball field tomorrow afternoon with another tough non-conference opponent, as last year's number 1 seed in the D1 South bracket, the Hopkinton Lady Hillers, will come to town. We will be here for coverage, so you can expect that game on Milford TV in a couple of days. But that will wrap up our coverage here this afternoon. A big thank you to our crew on hand, Tim Rosidi, Rob O'Keefe, and Malcolm Zale. And I am Tim Coette. Your final score one final time. Milford wins it over Hopedale by a final score of 11-3. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.